Hi, I'm Annette from itsadelight.com, and today I am here again with another salad dressing. I think you're gonna love this one. It is very popular from the restaurant Olive Garden, and I call this my Copycat Olive Garden dressing. So it's gonna be a Italian oil dressing, okay? Easy, a little bit more ingredients, but we need all of these to make it taste good. And the goal is to avoid any of the oils that we wouldn't want, like soy oil and some of those others. We don't want any other just icky ingredients in there. So we've got all good herbs, seasonings, salt, lemon juice, vinegar, and a few other things I'm going to share with you. So we're just going to dive right in. And this size recipe is going to make, you're going to see, this is a jam jar, this is just a 4-ounce jam jar, and this jar isn't going to be full. You can easily double this recipe, triple this recipe. You can make it as big as you want to. What I have been finding as I have been making more and more homemade salad dressings, I like smaller amounts. I like to use it for a few days and then we enjoy a different one. So that's what I'm going to show you, just how I would do it. And like I say, you do it with what works for you. So this is my avocado oil. You can use olive oil as well if that's what you prefer. Olive oil is good in salad dressings too. So first we're going to start out doing 3 tablespoons of my avocado oil. Okay, next is the vinegar, and for the vinegar I'm using red wine vinegar. I give it a little bit of shake. Sometimes it gets a little sediment that settles on the bottom. I think you could use white vinegar. I think you could use apple cider vinegar, and I think it would be just fine. I personally love red wine vinegar in certain settings, and this is one of them. So if you're like me and you have red wine vinegar, use that because I think you'll really enjoy it. So this gets 1 tablespoon and ½ a teaspoon. You really feel I got this perfected to taste the way that is just so well loved, like that favorite dressing from that restaurant. Okay, so next this is lemon juice. I'm using 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. This is just bottled organic lemon juice, just a good lemon juice. Whatever you have is fine, or you could use fresh, that's fine too. I don't typically have that on hand. So next is my Parmesan cheese. And this is what's called grated. I would call it powder. It's very fine. There's what's called shredded, and you could do shredded as well. But it's going to be bigger, like shreds, and then you might have to Vitamix your dressing. I don't want to Vitamix my dressing. I want it to be super easy, and so this is what I've been using, and I love using this. So I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of this Parmesan cheese. This is 365 brand, just again, if that's from Whole Foods, if somebody was wondering. And here's another tip. We don't use a lot of this, so it's not something that I'm always thinking about, but I do keep it on hand, and the way I keep it on hand is I keep this in the freezer. This just sits on the door in my freezer. So I do always have Parmesan cheese, in a sense you'd say, on hand, and that's how I am able to do that. So if you're like me and you use a lot of other cheeses, not this one, just keep it in the freezer, and then you have it on hand to make things like this with. Okay, next we're gonna do our garlic powder. This gets only 1/4 of a teaspoon. And we have onion powder. And actually, if y'all remember, I always use granules instead of the powder. And it's basically to keep away from those anti-caking agents that are always in the powders, but they're not in the granules. And the granules are just as fine. They're just like salt. So to me, that's my way of keeping a healthier version. Okay, 1/2 teaspoon of onion granules, if I didn't tell you already, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt next. I'm using my pink Himalayan. You could use Celtic or real salt, whichever one you use on hand. Next, I am going to do my my Italian seasoning. This is basically my own blend, and I talk about this in the Shake on the Goodness course. I'm trying to think where else this recipe might be, but this is a good blend. Any blend that you have is going to work just fine. Again, I love to make my own blend of this, and I just make a lot of it, and it lasts me a good while. So this is a half a teaspoon. Not keeping track if I'm telling you the amounts as I go here. Then this again is my homemade seasoning salt. This one I know is in my Shake on the Goodness course. The full recipe is in there. And if you don't have that, you will love this. I love this. It's my favorite. I just made a whole new batch and filled this jar up. So that one gets a half a teaspoon too. Mine probably has a little less salt in it because I like to use a lot of the seasoning and not have it be so salty. So if you use a store-bought one, maybe use a little bit less or go a little lighter on your salt to be sure that it's not over salty. Okay, next is dried parsley. It gets a half a teaspoon of that also. And now we're going to add a little bit of mayo. You guys have seen me use this Sir Kensington brand. It's a really clean brand. And if you make your own mayo, then by all means use your own mayo. If you don't, like I say, this is a really clean brand that I like to buy. So we're going to put 2 teaspoons of this in here, and this is just going to kind of give it that little bit of creaminess, but still keep it like an oil dressing. Okay, and next we got a couple other things. One is shoyu. If you aren't familiar with this, this is probably one of the few soy sauces that I still use. So you could just leave it out if you wanted to, but I think it gives it just a little bit of extra good flavor. This only needs a half a teaspoon. Okay, and last I am going to put some MCT oil. Let's say that correctly. This is the brand I get. You will rarely see my bottle out because I just put it in a dropper bottle. This thing is so lucky to use, and I use MCT oil every single day in something. I'm always putting it in. So I just saved a little dropper bottle, and this is what I use. I know that one full dropper is a half a teaspoon right off the bat because I've measured it. So I can just put that right in there, but otherwise just measure out your half a teaspoon, put it in there. That's all there is to it. Okay, now we're just going to give this a good stir. I don't put this in the blender or anything. Literally, it's just going to be made up into just this one jar, this one bottle. Now you can see it's going to fill it halfway. And again, we're not real heavy dressing eaters, so this is going to last us a good while, several days. But you could keep this in the fridge. You have to keep it in the fridge. You're going to keep it in there, and I think you could keep it for a week, maybe 2. I put my cap on, and I just shake it when I'm going to use it. That's it. That's how easy this is. Now, also, I want to make a comment here and tell you that this is just a lid from a peanut butter container. If you don't have these expensive ones, this works just great, or off of the mayonnaise jar, other jars. So just again, a little tip there. Okay, so let's throw this on a delicious salad now. So now I have my greens, just mixed greens here, and we love to have fresh red onions, which should be a lot like that Olive Garden salad. And I love black olives. My family likes black olives. I love black olives. Tomato is always necessary, I think, for a good Italian salad. And for this, I like to have my pieces just a little bit bigger, but again, just cut them the way you like. I'm using a mild hard cheddar. And again, I would, because again, I mentioned that Parmesan wasn't my favorite, but it's great in dressings, but I love this mild cheddar. It's a real hard cheese on this salad. just gonna be delicious. Now we're gonna take our delicious Italian oil dressing. And I'm gonna also say that this dressing is gonna be really good if you let it sit overnight in the fridge. It just all blends and melds and the flavors get even better than what they are right now. And there you have it. That's all there is to making a delicious restaurant style salad with a tasty homemade healthy dressing. You can toss it or just serve it like this. So if you wanted to toss it, like I said, just a little bit, you could give it a toss. It all depends upon your preference and what you like, but this salad is delicious and it is ready to serve, just that easy. Your dressing you can feel good about because you know what's in there. And so I hope this will be a blessing to you and you'll enjoy this new dressing, and I'll see you in the next video.